In a year where we have had games like Concord and Dustborn and Star Wars Outlaws and the upcoming Assassin's Creed Shadows, Dragon Age the Veilguard might be the most 2024 game to 2024. Welcome back to Words of Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idol, and yes, as I am sure you have seen by now, and you're just coming here for my, utmost positivity and good looks, we got this video here. Now, yes, I get this is posted by Learning the Law, who I spent a lot of time criticizing recently, but the video is damning no matter how you look at it. So we're going to go ahead and talk about everything we know about the bad sides, that implies there's good sides, of Dragon Age the Veilguard. Before we do, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day. And, oh guys, it is not looking good. Get a load of this.
He, him, she, her, and they, them, and then your gender is man, woman, non-binary.
Because that is what I care about when I am trying to be a world-saving sorcerer, warrior, medieval guardsman. I care about whether or not I'm a he, him, or a non-binary, or a they, them. It is getting so ridiculous because, look, any real trans folk out there, they want to blend in. They want to actually be seen as the individual they are, and they don't want attention drawn to it. So really, you should just have he, him, she, her. And if you're going to be a dude who cosplays as a woman, you can make the pronouns she, her, because those are really the only ones that matter, the only ones that exist. Non-binary, let's be real, isn't real. But yeah, they already had this conversation. Also, let's talk about this woman. You can't see it with it full screen. Hold on, let's talk about this little character right here. This individual. This sort of Nikado avocado as a elementary school teacher looking mofo. This is a paid shill. This person is not excited about this game. They're not excited about games in general. You can clearly tell this is not a gamer. This is somebody that has the right pronouns, the right identity, the right, toxic positivity, that does the proper virtue signaling, that these corporations can pay and they can capitalize on and they can use to express a message for the ultimate virtue signal. This is not a gamer. This is not somebody who cares about games. But let's keep going.
Love that. Love the inclusivity. Top.
There it is. Love the inclusivity. Well, I don't. I do not care about the inclusivity at all. You want to know why? Because games have always been inclusive. Because women have always played games. Men have always played. Now, the ratios to males and females playing games varied significantly, but they have always been there. So, yeah, I don't feel the need to, just sort of to pretend that, this inclusion is going to bring so many people to the game. It's not. In fact, this inclusion is, in fact, going to take people away from the game. Again, Concord and Dustborn were abject failures. I get it. There's more to the failures of those games than the fact that they are woke trash. However, let's not pretend that wasn't a contributing factor. Also, let's take a look at these visuals. This is a I don't know if it's going to be a PlayStation 5. This is a modern game in 2024. Dragon Age Origins came out in, 2009-ish, give or take? Somewhere around there. It was an objectively better looking game. Also, this is a completely different art style. This is like, imagine the jarring difference. Go back and play the original Dragon Age games. Like, I want to get amped up for this. I'm going to go play the originals. And then you turn this on. This is like if they made a Max Payne game. And there's, those great PS2 graphics. You make a Max Payne game. And then Max Payne 3 comes out. And it's an 8-bit shooter. Like, it's such a jarringly different art style that you can't even conceive of it being in the same series. That it is mind-blowing. Alright, let's continue.
Surgery scars are also included in this for all of our trans and non-binary rooks out there.
Ah, yes, because what I care about when I am, again, casting spells, fighting evil wizards, is whether the scars from my tits are still there, or the removal of said tits. This reminds me, Epic Mike posted this, and I think it was quite brilliant. Imagine designing a fantasy world full of magic and dragons and all manner of imagination, and all you can think of is having scars from top surgery and correct pronouns. What a sad, miserable existence. And anybody playing this game excited for this? All 14 of them? Yes, they are very sad and miserable individuals. However, my point remains the same. That you would think if their magic was so powerful, they could just magically remove the titties scar-free. And Danger Squirrel came in with what might be the saddest but most true comment I have ever read on X. Somehow High Guardian Spice did something better than Dragon Age. I hate this timeline. Now, High Guardian Spice That's old news. If you know, you know. But if you know, then this comment will ring true and it will hurt. But yeah, let's go ahead and just get back to this little video here. We're almost done, but then we got more scar tissue for you.
I absolutely was blown away by this. It's beautiful to see the inclusion in the game and to see yourself.
The scars don't even look that good, by the way. Just throwing it out there, like the scars don't even look that good because the visuals in this game are so terrible.
Represented, but him,
and there it is. 22 seconds of representation that no actual gamer gives a shit about. But in case you guys couldn't tell, I said, oh, those top surgery scars look bad. Look at this. This is what they actually look like. I'm flabbergasted, because again, if you're going to be so proud of your representation, if you're going to be so proud that you got these trannies to play your game before they decide to off themselves, because statistically that is what is most likely to happen, couldn't you at least, I don't know, like, make it graphically impressive enough to where you can see them, like, oh, look at the scars, look at my pride, my inclusivity, look at my individuality, despite the fact that we're all the same, and frankly, we all end up the same as well. Nah, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You couldn't even do that right, which is kind of hilarious. But then you find out who's behind the game. Corrine Bush. Now Corrine Bush, I hope y'all ain't getting aroused right now. I hope y'all like, that's a fine looking lady, because that is not. That is a man cosplaying as a woman. As a queer trans woman, he says, I have a perspective on the games that not everyone had. But you being a queer tranny has nothing to do with your perspective on games. You want to know why? Because it doesn't matter what you identify as. It doesn't matter what your ethnicity or your gender or whatever ridiculous flavor of the month virtue signal you want to pull out is. Everybody loved Super Mario Bros. From the children to the adults, from the gay to the straight, from the Democrats to the Republicans. Everyone's like, let's run that way, get the mushrooms, and save that goddamn princess. And your queerness is not going to give you a different appreciation for Super goddamn Mario Bros. But go ahead, let's see what you have to say. Let's entertain this ideological dumbassery that you were spitting here. Dragon Age has long been a place where LGBTQIA folks can see people like themselves. Well, if it's already been a place where you could do that, then why all this extra nonsense? Because actually, you're not necessarily wrong. The original Dragon Age games, you could be gay as fuck. So if you were already able to do it, then why go through all this unnecessary trite that will inevitably doom, thank God, your shitty game? It's inherently very queer, and it's such a rare thing for marginalized communities to have representation where we feel proud and powerful in how we're depicted. Well, you should not feel proud and powerful, because 9 out of 10 of you, 99 out of 100 of you are in fact lesser. You want to know why you are lesser? Because you think like this. Now, of course, you got your Blair Whites of the world that actually acknowledge reality, and you say, hey, I know that biologically I am in fact a male, but I know I have a mental disorder, and you know what? I'm not saying this about you. If God forbid there are any of you actually watching my videos, you're cool. We like you. But if you live in this deluded fantasy world where you think your marginalization is some sort of flag to bear to make you a better person, no, I'm sorry. It is the exact reason why people are turning on you. Did you know support for gay marriage in the US is at an all-time low? You wanna know why it's at an all-time low? Because you did this to your fucking selves. You started throwing it in every single goddamn movie and TV show and video game and children's media. Not that this is a children's game, despite the fact the art style absolutely makes it look like it. Yes, you put it everywhere, and you start screaming, look at me, and remember what you have done to harm me, when most people didn't even know or care to begin with. So, yeah, I don't really care how you're depicted. In fact, I defy these game companies, especially these indie studios, to start showing you and depicting you as the troll monsters you are, as the absolute Gorlock the Destroyers that every single one of you are behind your anime profile pic. But it gets even better than this. From Kami, Dragon Age the Veilguard hands-on previews feels like the series Mass Effect 2 moment from Eurogamer. A definite Game of the Year contender. Game Rant. Oh my, Game of the Year, are you out your goddamn mind? When we have had games like Black Myth Wukong this year, you're telling me that this is a Game of the Year contender? Bro, you're right, it is a Game of the Year contender, because Game of the Year is rigged and actually means nothing to real gamers. The character creator I've always wanted. Why? This character creator is actually bare bones. Aside from giving yourself tranny scars and vitiligo and shit, there was nothing interesting about about it. And BioWare at its most confident. Oh, that confidence is not going to do much for the individuals that, again, tend to become a statistic, is all I'm saying. But the final point I want to make, everybody in the gaming community wants games to fail. It's very bizarre. Nadeshot calls out gaming fans for negativity on new games, and then follower Toshi, and you're right, I'm glad that you admit that you are a follower and not a leader, because you're agreeing with this dribble, says like, bro, real. Starfield, Fallout, Assassin's Creed, Skull and Bones, Dragon Age, Star Wars, when did gaming become so fucking cynical and toxic? So many people just hate on fun stuff and piss everyone off and make shit not fun. It's lame. Maybe you should be blaming the developers that are making these piss poor games, not even because of the woke ideological nonsense, though there's that as well, but games that just flat out aren't fun, games that are unfinished on release, games that are not doing anything new or exciting, but for whatever reason have budgets ballooned beyond proportion. I'm actually genuinely curious about the budget for this game, because let's be real, it doesn't look like a high budget game. In fact, I've seen indie games that have a far higher level of production quality. That being said, just because it looks like an indie game, I bet the budget for this was through the roof, and I bet $7 million of that was because, hey, Sweet Baby Inc. was in there giving their consultations. But no, we don't want every game to fail. We didn't want Black Myth Wukong to fail. We didn't want any of the recent games that we considered good to fail. We didn't want Stellar Blade to fail. People didn't want the Resident Evil 4 remake to fail. They did not want Final Fantasy VII Rebirth to fail, because they had belief and hope in these games, because they were fan bases cultivated, because there were ideas, and most importantly, they appealed to gamers. So when games are premiered that don't appeal to gamers, you're goddamn right we want them to fail, because they are a cesspool and destroying the medium and hobby that we love so much. But again, this sort of toxic positivity that you're always hearing Hypno and Cass go on about, it is real, it is alive. There are going to be people that buy this game. Now, there aren't going to be many, because the vast majority of folks that the virtue signaling to don't have jobs. They spend all day on X and don't actually have a way of earning income. I mean, sure, you might have the individual that's getting, $15, $20 a month off their OnlyFans that has 1 subscriber, maybe 2 subscribers at best, and frankly, one of them is probably, themselves, just so they can have that extra subscriber. Or you've got the, I'm selling art. Go to my commissions, open digital art. And their digital art looks like something that you wouldn't let your 4-year-old put on the goddamn fridge. So yes, these people are not going to be buying the game, but by God, they're going to act like it on X, which is going to make the shareholders think, we got a winner on our hands. And then when the game comes out, and it inevitably flops, because it absolutely will, we, the real gamers, are going to get the blame, because it happens like this every time. At this point, it's not even fun to make fun of anymore, because the patterns are going so deep, it makes you wonder if gaming is lost forever. And it isn't. I do not believe gaming is lost forever, but I do believe that, yeah, things like this are definitely going to exacerbate the culture war, and all you had to do was look at Dragon Age Origins, look at Dragon Age 2, and say, let's do that, but modern, not the modern audience kind, but technologically modern. But you couldn't even do that right. But those are just my opinions. Let me know yours in the comments down below, or let me know on X, where you can find me at Bolt the Word. And please do subscribe. I'm a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day, not always about the video game industry, but anime, movies, music, Magic the Gathering, you name it. Check me out on Instagram at wordsofparadise_Leon, and become a member for $4.99 a month. You can join the Discord, choose the articles I go over on a day-to-day basis, choose the videos I react to on my Friday night live streams, and of course, get involved with over 100 other vital idols. We are a bright, beautiful, glowing, vibrant community that I cannot wait to grow even further, because we do care about diversity. Only one kind of diversity of thought. If that's interesting to you, join the Discord, hit subscribe, and until next time, it is all here in the Nerdosphere. This has been Words of Paradise.